around the world, we'll take whatever action is necessary to protect our people. And President Obama has shown that he'd do that, whether it's in Pakistan with the bin Laden operation, in Yemen, in Somalia. We will take direct action against terrorists who threaten the United States, even as we develop long-term solutions that empower partners on the ground. With respect to legal matters, I wouldn't want to prejudge an action that we haven't taken. I would say that the actions we're taking in Iraq are obviously at the invitation of the Iraqi government and consistent with the president's constitutional authority. The action that we took to try to rescue hostages in Syria was entirely legal, of course, because we were seeking to save Americans from imminent danger. And that is at the core of justification for military action. I think that any additional actions that we take, we'd want to consult with Congress. And
the distinction that you had drawn about Iraq was that you were invited in, with what you just mentioned. In Syria, that obviously wouldn't be the case. So isn't there a distinction? Wouldn't you have to?
I don't want to speak hypothetically about an action we haven't taken. But to take the example of what we did, you don't need to be invited in if you're trying to rescue your people from imminent danger. And so that was the basis for the action that we took to try to rescue our hostages. Going forward, we would obviously have a legal justification for any action we take. And I do want to be clear, we would consult with Congress. This is, again, a problem that we have to deal with as a nation. And so whether it's our ongoing operations in Iraq or additional steps that may need to be taken against ISIL, we would carry those out in very close consultation with Congress about their support and their role in providing support for our efforts. Thanks.
Policy of not paying ransom for hostages.
Yeah. We obviously understand that Americans who have loved ones who are in harm's way want to do anything to try to bring them home. And we provide support in any way we can with our military, our diplomacy, our intelligence resources, our law enforcement resources. But as a matter of policy, we do not provide ransom or any funding for terrorist organizations. We feel very strongly that it is not the right policy for governments to support the payment of ransom to terrorist organizations. In the long run, what that does is it provides additional funding to these terrorist organizations, which allows them to expand their operations. It incentivizes the kidnapping of foreigners in ways that we've seen, frankly, with organizations like ISIL and some Al-Qaeda affiliates. So again, as a matter of policy, I think the U.S. government remains absolutely committed to the notion that we will not provide funding for terrorist organizations, that we believe that only creates perverse incentives for those terrorist organizations going forward, and a source of funding, and we want to cut off and choke off their sources of funding. What we will do is use all the resources of the U.S. government to try to find and, if possible, bring home those Americans who are missing. And as I said,